Morning. So, defending Elvis Presley, fans want the truth. How are we going, guys? We've got our coffees. I'm trying to get the camera position so I can see the TV, and I'm in front of the laptop. I mean, because I keep having it too far over one side, so I want to be in front. So I think I've done it. Of course, I've got myself 2 coffees, and I've just sent out loads of I don't know if many of you remember. We've got Sue, we've got Michelle, we've got Karen. We're going to do Ginger Alden today. That's going to be our little thing for this morning. I have to go to work today. I know I do work, but I work when things happen. Yeah. So if there's a problem in the buildings, or if a tenant needs help, or we have to repair something, or we have to organize something, me and my twin brother, we suddenly will jump all over it. And so I do have to go to work today for about 3 or 4 hours, I think. So I tend to only have to go to work about 3 times a week for about 3 or 4 hours. So that is the privilege that I've earned after 30 years of hard work and buying buildings. The benefit is I can be home. So I'm very lucky, me and my twin brother. So how is everyone? Now, I want to review an interview. I'll show you the interview that I'm going to review. I've got a few things to do with Ginger Alden I want to discuss. I also want to discuss I've ordered her book off Amazon. I'm going to read some of the reviews on that. I don't know why. Last night I was just thinking about Ginger Alden. There's complicated views on Ginger Alden, isn't there? Some people don't take the relationship seriously. Some people take it very seriously. Some people don't believe the engagement was real. Some people think it was very real. Some people think they were never going to get married. Some people think they were definitely going to get married, and it was going to be the beginning of a new life for Elvis. And a promise of marriage at Christmas and even children. So it's quite a hot topic, Ginger Alden. So I watched quite a few vintage interviews. Then I watched an interview from the Elvis channel. Let me just get his name up. He's the one that did the Mike Stone. I must say that I think his name's Steve. Let me just find the interview. So the channel's called Elvis the Ultimate Fan. I'll just show you the name of the channel. I think his name's Steve. And he did a very good interview. I'm actually very impressed with Steve's channel. He's got some very good interviews on there. He's obviously got the Mike Stone one. I personally thought Steve was a bit soft on Mike Stone, but it was still a brilliant interview. I highly respect Steve for getting that interview. He did a really good job of it. And then you've got the interview that he did with Ginger Alden. I'm sure that he's done many more. I recommend this channel. It's Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? He's 100% an Elvis fan. He has been on our stuff. He has commented on our stuff. I think he has quite passionate views about the Lucy Desiree book, which we are just reading in little bits now and then. I think Rare Elvis Photos is still covering it at the moment. He's very passionate. I watched Rare Elvis Photos video last night on Lucy and Desiree. He's got, Joe has got some pretty strong opinions on that book, and he really does break down the evidence. I'm not going to change my stance at the moment because I still feel that it's just a story. I don't want to upset anyone when I say that. I'm not, how can I say it? I'm not in a position to say that I believe it at the moment. I'm still like, there's definitely not enough evidence, but that's a whole different live stream. I'm still not convinced. What I'm gonna do with the with the Lucy book, where is it? I'm just gonna, as we read it, and I'm only gonna do sort of one chapter a week. I'm not in a rush to read it. As we read it, we'll just let it unfold. We'll see where it goes. But at the moment, I'm not convinced. All the evidence that's being given to me, I don't believe it. That's where I am at the moment. I want to be honest with people, how I feel. Now, this channel, as I'll just try and get it up in my history. Also, you know, the Steve's channel has done a bloody good interview with Ginger Alden. Like, I was very impressed with it. So let me just see if I can find it. Have any of you watched it? I just want to get it up so you guys can see it. Right, let me just find it. I've listened to actually almost all of it. I've been up since like 5 a.m. I just couldn't sleep, so I just thought I'll watch the Ginger Alden interview. So this is the interview. Let me just see if it will focus. We'll give it a go. Come on, focus. There we go. It's 3 years ago. Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel, which I highly recommend that you subscribe to. And it's a very, very good interview. I actually think he really did his homework well, Steve. He really did ask all the questions that needed to be asked, that I think that the fans wonder about. Yeah, so brilliant. I'm going to go through that. We're going to review that interview. That's one of the things we're going to do today. So I'm going to quickly look up the book, because I've ordered the book off Amazon. So I'll quickly check the reviews there. And I did post a 5-minute interview of Ginger Alden. It says here 6 months ago on Loose Women. Have any of you guys heard of Loose Women? So I was going to play that. I don't like it when they mention the toilet and stuff like that. It's a difficult. So most of the interview I liked, but the bit, I don't like it when they bring up the toilet stuff. It just bothers me. So I'm going to play that. I'm going to jump over to Amazon and read the reviews. And I want to play some of the vintage interviews with Ginger Alden just after Elvis died. I think there's a Ginger Alden film that was made in 1978 on YouTube that's free. I can't remember the name of it. So she did do a bit of acting, and she looks beautiful in that film. I don't know if you guys know about that film. So I think initially when Elvis died, there was a intention to be an actress, and it's a pretty B movie. It is based on her being with a rock star. So it follows a similar storyline of her life with Elvis. So I also want to say that I like Ginger Alden. There's nothing in what I'm going to do now to make Ginger Alden look bad. I like her. I think the way she speaks about Elvis is just very respectful, very kind. She doesn't say anything bad about him, not really. She always bigs him up. She says that he was in a real good place when they were together. She says he was upset about the book, but not overly upset. This is what she says. She says he definitely was not overweight in the way that the public think. She said that he'd actually lost some weight and he was looking better. He was very excited about the up and coming tour. He was very upbeat. Yeah. She didn't mention Priscilla in that interview. Also in the interview, she says that when I think her grandfather died, Elvis went out of his way and chartered his own small aeroplane and took her, Ginger Alden, and her family to the funeral. And even Charlie Hodge came, and while they were doing the funeral, even Elvis and Charlie Hodge started harmonizing and singing at her grandfather's funeral, and Elvis was determined to help her get there, because I think the weather conditions were really bad. Elvis helped her go and stayed with her family for 10 days, guys. For 10 days. So that just shows that Elvis, you know, she's a normal girl. Yeah, he went to her family, would have been a normal home, spent 10 days with her family. I just think that's lovely. So there's many things that Ginger Alden says about Elvis that I really like. Now, I do have a bit of an opinion that it was, I do have an opinion that it was a complicated time for Elvis, because obviously the release of the Elvis book, Elvis What Happened, yeah. You know, of course, this was tough for Elvis when this was released by the Memphis Mafia, Dave Hebler, Red West, Sonny West, and only weeks before he died. So I do think Elvis had that on his mind. I also think that Priscilla was attacking him for more money with the divorce settlement, the second divorce settlement, that in my mind she was not entitled to, that she lied so that it could happen. She accused Elvis, Priscilla accused Elvis of some wrongdoing to get the second divorce settlement. I just think it was a pack of lies. And unfortunately, she got her way and she hammered Elvis for a disgusting second divorce settlement, which was still going on after he died, I think. So he had that going on. Obviously, there's word that he was also seeing other women. Yeah. So I do think the circumstances with Ginger Alden are a bit complicated. I don't think Ginger Alden was fully aware of everything that was going on when she was with Elvis. We know that she didn't want to live with him. She didn't feel it was time to live with Elvis. She liked living with her parents. So some fans don't like that. We also know that the Memphis Mafia didn't take her seriously because she didn't live there. This is said by a couple of the Memphis Mafia. Billy Smith in the early years definitely did not like Ginger. I've got it on interviews where he just did not like her. I've got quite a few interviews. Billy saying he didn't like her. Now, I think years later that may have changed. Yeah, this is way back. Yeah, in the 80s. And then we've also got the situation. It shows the engagement and the ring and how Elvis proposed. You know, it's really interesting. Yeah. So I hope you got your coffees, guys, because we're going to be here a while. It's quite a lot of little things to go through. I'm just going to quickly check your comments. Now, no matter what I say, do I think Elvis was ready to get married, knowing his health issues? Obviously, he did have a problem with the prescribed medication. He was chronically sick. The book came out. Priscilla was hammering him. Do I think they were actually going to get married? I change my mind every day. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Do I think Elvis was ready to start settling down in his 40s and start having kids? Maybe if he got his health back, if he reduced the medication, the prescribed medication, I think they had a chance. I do think she was a bit too young. But come on, it's Elvis, isn't it? So she says that almost every time she watched him in concert, he was amazing. There was a couple of bad ones. She also says that the very, very last concert he did, I think it was in Indianapolis. Yeah. He was brilliant. He'd lost a bit of weight and he was on form. So unfortunately, it was never filmed. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to read your comments. I'm going to start just going through these bits that we've discussed. There's quite a few things to go through. I'm no expert on Ginger Alden. I mean, she was a beautiful woman. I completely understand why Elvis liked her. And she has a lovely personality. Right, let's have a look what people say. I think it was real to Ginger because this is hi Sue, hope you're well. I think it was real to Ginger because I believe Elvis told her that. I think he told people what he thought and they wanted to hear. He did tell people he wanted to marry Ginger and get custody of Lisa. Okay. So Karen, I watched the Rare Elvis last night. that Lucy wrote a letter on it, and he said her and Elvis recorded on some tapes for a book. All right, I didn't see that bit. So she said her and Elvis recorded on some tapes for a book. But the problem I've got with the Lucy and Desiree book is that I've heard loads of evidence, but all of it is just talking. All of it is this happened, that happened, this date, that date, this was done, that was done. But I've not seen any evidence. Yeah. Even the birth certificate is disputed because of people are doubting Desiree's age. So I'm not convinced yet. I really respect Joe Sins. I am not convinced. I still haven't heard enough to give it my sort of. I won't back the book where I am at the moment. Where I am at the moment, I'm like, I'm not believing it. I want to be honest. I want to be straight with people, but we haven't read the whole book. So I need, the key word here is evidence. We need evidence, proof. We need more of that. Less of this, more of evidence. And I say that with respect. Hi, Angel. Yes, yeah. Rare Elvis Photos is a great channel, and so is Steve's channel. Brilliant channels. I had a lovely email from Steve the other day. We were discussing Lucy's book. We both think it's a lovely fairy tale. Hi, Michelle. Oh, that's nice that you've been talking to Steve. Now, Steve is very passionate. I've seen him and Dari, the author of the book, Dari Matira, having some proper arguments on my YouTube comments. They're both passionate. We know that Dari is quite fiery in his comments, and he will speak his mind, and he takes it very personally. If you disagree with his book, he basically says, you're calling me a liar, you're calling me a fraud, and he reacts, doesn't he? You know, and I think he's been getting flack for 40 years, but I understand. He probably won't be happy with what I'm saying here, but I'm still not convinced, and I don't mean to upset anyone. I am not convinced. Yeah, but let's keep reading it. Let's just have a look. I don't believe, right, Linda, I don't believe it either, Sue. Yeah, Linda, we just want some proof, don't we? Proper proof. Let's keep going. It would be easy to prove it, but they don't. Yep, Sue. Come on, we know that if push comes to shove, there is a way to get proper proof. There is a way. It just needs to happen. And I personally think saying that Gracelands won't allow the proof to take place, you know, the DNA, whatever it is, I'm not convinced by that either. That argument doesn't cut it for me. Right. I am saying this with respect. I don't want to upset anyone. My God. Whew. A lot of things I'm saying lately are being taken out of context. Right. Let's have a look. Right. So what? I think you're talking to, so Blinky is talking to Gio. Right, let's just read Gio's comment. Karen, there are a lot of things that people have kept private because it's hard to have all your private stuff thrown out in the public and then having people call you a liar. I understand that. You know, I do think Derry believes it. I think he's too passionate about it. I don't think that he's trying to pull off this giant scam. I think he believes it. Really do. Yeah, I think he stands by everything he says. Honestly. Then why come out and state it if you are not prepared to back it up? If I had proof and went public, I'd show it. It makes no sense not to. Yeah. If someone's got proof, let's see it. I agree with that. Now,
I will say one other thing. Because this keeps coming up. I keep seeing people commenting on this. Now, we're here to talk about Ginger Oldham, but I just want to say one thing. Do I think this book does any harm to Elvis's image or reputation? No, not at all. I don't think this does any damage to Elvis. This is just a story. Okay, Dari Matira thinks it's true, and many Elvis fans think it's true, but it doesn't do any harm. Me talking about this book doesn't mean I'm trying to harm Elvis or harm his image and reputation or legacy. I spend all my days defending Elvis, defending Lisa, defending the bloodline. I don't feel bad when we bring up this book. I don't think, oh my God, talking about this book is going to do harm. I don't. I think it's just a story. We're chatting about a story. That's all it is, guys. Please don't take it too seriously. Try not to be offended, because we're just having a discussion. That's all it is. Hi, beautiful wife. I think, so let me just keep going. Imagine you telling your life story and people, complete strangers, suddenly become experts on your life. Yeah. But right, okay. Now, Gio, Gio, can I ask you, do you believe it, Gio? Because I'm getting the sense here that you believe it. But imagine you're telling your life story and people, complete strangers, suddenly become experts on your life. But isn't that what Elvis fans are? Elvis fans are complete strangers, aren't they? Yeah, all of us are. None of us know any of them. None of us were there. So you could say that about, right? We're just about to do a live stream on Ginger Oldham. Yeah, we're complete strangers to her. We didn't know Elvis. We weren't there. So yeah, it's going to be complete strangers talking about all of these books. Obviously, I've ordered the Ginger Oldham book. We're going to go through it. Even, you know, this book has been sold to the public. Yeah, it's still up for sale now on everywhere on Amazon. This book will be read by complete strangers all the time. So yes, complete strangers are going to be critical and review this book. Of course they are. So I understand your comment, but we are talking about a celebrity type author and the people in the book. So that is how it is. You know, it's open for debate, isn't it? And I say that, Gio, I say that with respect. Okay. So Elizabeth, you say you don't like the author. I have seen Dari's comments, and he's what's the word? Hot-tempered, but he is defending one of his books. Don't forget, he's written loads of books. I think he's written about 20 books. He's defending his book. So I understand that he comes out firing, doesn't he? He comes out shooting. If you don't believe this book, he gets, a British way of saying it, he gets pissy. He gets pissy. I do think Dari's, how can I say it? I do think that sometimes Dari, when he's talking to people to try and win his case, prove his book, has some communication issues. But I've also spoke to Dari, and he's been very polite, very friendly, very kind. He's messaged me many times, and I find him very polite and respectful. So if we see the fiery side of him, I can see how, Elizabeth, that puts you off. But if you see the polite gentleman that is courteous and kind, then you like him. So I would say to Elizabeth is, we don't know him. We don't know him. Yeah. So to dislike someone that you don't know, sometimes we've got to sort of see the bigger picture, I think, and understand why he gets so fiery. Understand he's trying to defend something, isn't he? Yeah. So I think he's okay. I think he's interesting. I think he's an interesting guy. Yeah. No matter what my views are, if I believe or don't believe, or if I choose to just sit on the fence, I like the way he spoke to me. He spoke to me with respect. So let's keep going, guys.
Let's have a look. The damage it causes, saying that he has fathered a child he hasn't. Not many men would be happy. Let's have a look. The damage it causes is saying that he has fathered a child that he hasn't. Not many men would be happy with that. I just don't agree. I don't think it does any damage. I think the possibility of Elvis has fathered other children is out there, and I don't think it does any damage. He was a virile man in his 20s and 30s, and yeah, it's possible out there there's children. I don't see how that harms him in any way. He's just a normal human being. So I don't agree with that comment, but I say that with respect, Blinky. I don't believe it either. I have a hard time believing that this has been on and off for 20 years and that no one else. Yeah, that's fair enough. And do you know what, Elizabeth? At the moment, I don't believe it. I'm not saying to you guys that I believe the book. We are discussing it. Don't worry, at least we got something to talk about. Yes, Ayisa. So I agree. It's a very interesting topic. Lou, I don't believe it. All right, okay. Right, let me just read Gio's comment. I don't believe I want to take factual scientific approach, meaning if no one can disprove her story with facts, I must take it serious. Do you know what? I take it serious. Yeah, that's why I think we should debate it. And I think people should be able to make up their minds whether it's true or not. I really, honestly, guys, there's no way that I can say to you, this is not true. I won't do that. I will not say this is not true. I won't do that. I think it's a great thing for the Elvis fans to discuss. But I want to be honest. At the moment, I don't believe it. That's all. But you guys, if you want to believe it, of course, it's completely your right. So with Gio's comment, I think, yeah, I take it seriously. I don't laugh at this book. I take it seriously. I don't believe it. I take it seriously. So yeah, I sort of agree with that. Hi, Mystic Werewolf. I want to say also that I highly. Oops, sorry, it just jumped up. I want to say also that I highly respect everyone's opinion here. It's just my own opinion. I'm not an expert. Yeah, none of us are experts. We're just chatting, aren't we? It's just a discussion, isn't it? Remember, I'm not on Sky News telling the world what to believe. I'm just a tiny little Defending Elvis channel. Yeah, and come on, this will get watched by between 2,000 and 1,000 people, this live stream. I ain't making no difference to no one, to nothing. Yeah, we're just doing our tiny little speck of dust video live stream, and there's thousands and thousands of people doing videos on that book. Yeah. Blink it, Louis, you are too kind. He is downright rude. People would probably listen more if he was not so nasty. I agree with that. Blinky, I agree. I've seen the comments. He's rude. He's very, very rude to some people. But I've also seen the comments where he's very, very, very friendly. Right, just open the door. Right. I've also seen the comments where he's very friendly and kind and chatty. And to me, he's been respectful and friendly. So remember, he's defending something he completely, in my mind, completely believes. He completely believes this. So he's defensive. He's protective. Yeah. So when he gets all mouthy and fiery and quite abrupt, just open the door, let him out. When he gets all, I'll do it. She'll bark there for half an hour. Princess, remember what Princess does? Barks for half an hour, barks for another half hour. Do you want to come and read a book with me? Look, yeah, look, you can teach me how to read. My wife's going to teach me how to read. Now I know my ABC. Yeah. But if actually, when she goes upstairs, they'll sort of settle down.
She will, but she's all muddy.
All right, they've just been for a walk, so they're a bit muddy, are they? So yeah, he defends his book, and what it can be quite rude, yeah, Dari. But I tell you what, some of the comments he gets thrown at him are also very rude. Yeah, I've seen some people really rip into Dari, like really seriously. And you go on my Facebook defending Elvis Presley, and the way they speak to him is damn right rude. So it's a two-way thing. So to Blinky, he is rude, but so are the people that are talking to him. They're very rude. So they're both mouthing at each other. So then they get their backs up, and then before you know it, there's nothing being gained, is there? Because it's just an outright war. Even Steve on his channel, I found Steve quite rude to Dari. Yeah, I'm not trying to disrespect Steve, but this is more than just Dari. Yeah, he's obviously a very interesting character. Yeah, we respect. So let's have a look. Okay, let's keep going. We're not in a rush, guys. I've got a little while this morning before I go to work, so I'm quite happy to just go through a few things before we jump on to Ginger Alden. Let's have a look. Right, here we go. Gina, I see what you're saying. We don't. No, is she over here? I'll just let her out.
No, she won't.
Right. Let's have a look. I see what you're saying. We don't know either way. Yeah. No, I agree. None of us really know, do we? Come on, let's be honest. Yeah, we need the DNA thing. I definitely think that. And Margaret and Elvis sighting on TV. Right. Loads of people say that there are a child of Elvis. It doesn't damage him. I don't think no one will believe them. But do you know what? Can I say it? And a few of you might agree or disagree with this. But it's one of the most common things I find since running Defending Elvis Presley, don't forget we're also an Elvis channel, is that if I mention anything outside of a certain realm of making Elvis out to be almost angel-like, yeah, that I'm doing some harm. Yeah, I don't agree. We are an Elvis channel. We're a Defending Elvis channel. It's clearly obvious that we all love Elvis. It's clearly obvious that we want to defend Elvis. But of course, a lot of these topics are going to say things that people don't like. Like that, even this book, we all love this book, don't we? Elvis and Anita. It's a beautiful book. Yeah, it really shows the romance. But I tell you what, she talks about the drugs. Yeah, she talks about the drugs. And I know many people are not happy with this book, but there's a lot of nice stuff in this book about Elvis as well. So where is it? Where's the other book? Let me just get the other book. So this book here, yeah, there's some lovely things in this book about Elvis, you know, Linda Thompson, but she has said many things that aren't very nice, yeah, to Elvis. So we can't just, how can I explain it? I'm trying to think if I've got a book to give you an example. Right, here we go. Right. So Elaine bought me this book here. Yeah, I love this book. This is, I think this was released for the 50-year anniversary. And we're going to do a video on this book. It's brilliant, amazing book. Thank you, Elaine. Yeah. Now, every single thing in this book praises Elvis and speaks highly of Elvis. It's a beautiful book. I love this book. I cherish this book. Yeah. But that isn't the whole story. Yeah. That isn't the whole story. We are an Elvis channel. We also do Defending Elvis. And we're going to read things. We're going to read books that don't fully, how can I say it? That give that. Oh, how can I say it? Let me just turn that plug on. My is the plug turned off over? So yeah, a lot of these books are going to say some negative stuff about Elvis, but That doesn't mean we're trying to harm him. It doesn't mean we're trying to damage his image and reputation or legacy. We're just an Elvis channel that is doing Defending Elvis, and we're trying to get all the information out to the fans as we can, as much as we can. We're not trying to attack Elvis or put him down or belittle him or make him look small. We're just an Elvis channel, and we cover all the topics of Elvis. So I'm not going to whitewash Elvis into this perfect human being that is an angelic person, almost godlike. I just don't want to do that. It's warts and all. It's warts and all. So, and I know that that annoys people sometimes. Let me just turn the plug on, otherwise my laptop's gonna stop. I'm gonna warm my coffee up as well. Right, let's warm this coffee up, guys. You can't have a cold coffee. They're being very obedient now, aren't they? Yeah, it's fine. Once they settle down, they're all right, isn't they?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let me just.
No, exactly.
Okay, get a bit of coffee. Right, nice. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Right, I'm gonna shut this off. Okay, let's read your comments. Sorry, guys. So, do you have yourself a coffee? So in case you're new to this channel, we're Defending Elvis Presley. We're also an Elvis channel. The time is 9:23. I'm in Southwest UK. My name's Louis. I'm a lifelong Elvis fan. And I've been an Elvis fan since I was a tiny little boy, so over 50 years. We cover, at the moment, we are reading a lot of books. Every day I'm trying to pick different topics. Like yesterday, we just did 2 videos on the movies. We did all the trailers. We did a discussion on each film. So I really, really enjoyed it yesterday. And today I want to cover Ginger Alden. I think because this video has taken so long, I'm probably going to have to do a part 2. So I think in the end, what we'll do is do a discussion a bit here. And then I'm going to come back and do the Ginger Alden stuff, because I've got a lot of Ginger Alden stuff to go through. I don't really think, because we spoke about, let's get it out, because we spoke about different topics and this book quite a lot, I think I can't really call this video a Ginger Alden video. It's more of a discussion with Team Elvis, which is great. I love the discussions that we have. I think they're brilliant. So we're going to carry on with the discussion. Then I'm going to come back to a part 2 with the Ginger Alden stuff. I hope you don't mind that, guys. Okay, but remember, we're Team Elvis. We're here to debate things. We're here to thrash things out, yeah, and hear each other out with him, but do it with respect. So lots of, right, let's have a look. So Louis, it's all good, man. We all have our own perspective, and that's okay. I roll with you, Louis. I love the show. Oh, thanks, Gio. I know, Gio, you've always had my back, Gio. You've always had my back. A lot of you have. I would say all of you here that are talking to me now have got my back. Yeah, I really appreciate it as well. Really appreciate it. And to anyone that's watching now, you're welcome to join us at Team Elvis. You're welcome to join us. Yeah, we are Elvis fans. That's what we are, Elvis fans, and we defend the bloodline. That's what we do. Mystic Werewolf. Mystic Werewolf, are you being nice? So what's going on, Mystic? Who the hell is Gio? No, Gio's a good friend of mine. We love Gio. Yes, I know what you're saying. Let's have a look. Linda, it doesn't damage his memory, but how would he feel if he was still here reading the book? That's a good point. Right, so Blinky, it doesn't damage his memory, but how would he feel if he was still here reading the book? Well, the Blinky, the problem with it's a very interesting point you've made, Blinky, yeah, but we don't know if it's true or not. So if it was true, there's a massive answer to that great question that you've just put to us. That if it's not true, then he'd be offended, wouldn't he? If it was not true, he would be offended. I still don't think it does any harm to his image, reputation, or legacy. Don't think it makes any difference at all. So I could only properly answer that point if I knew if it was true or not. I could only answer, and I don't know. We weren't there. We weren't there. So, but a very interesting point, Blinky. A very, very interesting point. I know that the movie will upset me, so I won't watch it. Which movie? Have I missed something? Let's have a look. So let me just find. Sorry, I've missed a comment. Let me go back a little bit. Mystic doesn't like Priscilla for supporting and helping and make Sophia Coppola's move. Now, okay, that's good, right? I always say this, Mystic Werewolf. I am not a hater. I'm not a hater. I don't hate Priscilla. This is not a hate channel. I do understand why people hate Priscilla. I do understand. Now, we're talking about Priscilla's film and the Sophia Coppola. Obviously was the director. I think that film was terrible. I can't stand that film. It should never have been made. I think it's disgusting that Priscilla has had anything to do with that film. There's even a possibility there could have been a lawsuit between Lisa and Priscilla about to be announced before Lisa died. I'm horrified at that film. It's a disgrace. Priscilla should be ashamed of herself that that film was ever made. We know that Lisa Marie did not want that film made. And I will never understand why, let me get the book. I will never understand why Sophia Coppola decided to base the film on this book. The only thing I can think of, because I think this book is a pack of lies. Yeah, I think this book is complete rubbish. I think almost everything in this book is bullshit. Now, all I can think is that Sophia Coppola felt that she needed Priscilla on side for this book, for this film to be a success. Yeah, which makes sense because Baz Luhrmann was the same, wasn't he? Baz Luhrmann, he wanted Priscilla and Lisa on side, didn't he? So, and even Jerry Schilling on side, because I think even Baz Luhrmann, the Elvis film, even he felt he needed that to push the film forward. Which did work for him. We know Lisa loved Baz Luhrmann, Austin Butler. Lisa loved them, didn't she? Lisa felt that the Elvis film restored Elvis's image and reputation and did some good for Elvis, brought in new fans of a new age group of fans, yeah? So relaunched Elvis to the world. I know that that film made Lisa very happy. Now, I think the mistake that Sophia Coppola made was she felt that if Sophia Coppola, I think, felt that if Priscilla was on board, that it guaranteed the success of the Priscilla film, Sophia Coppola's Priscilla film, which was based on this book. And that was a mistake. That was a mistake. And remember, Lisa had died. God rest her soul. We will miss her. But not just that. The Elvis fans are not stupid. The Elvis fans are not stupid. They know that Lisa didn't want that film made. They know, yeah? They were never going to support the Priscilla film, ever. I just think for Priscilla to lose her daughter and then to carry on promoting this film was disgusting. Disgusting. It's one of the worst things that Priscilla has ever done, is to promote this film, to try and take the glory of the Priscilla film, which flopped. Yeah. Finally, Priscilla felt like Elvis, but the whole thing was disgusting. The whole thing was disgusting. So I wish that film was never made. The whole film is a joke. Jacob Elordi is ridiculous as Elvis, and the film just portrays Elvis in a horrible light, makes him look like some kind of drugged up, weird person that was violent. Yeah, I just can't stand that film. Literally cannot stand. Now, Blinky, that damages Elvis's image, reputation, and legacy. The Priscilla film does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Now, the bits I've read of this book praise Elvis a lot. Praise Elvis a lot. The bits I've read, this really bigs up Elvis, and there'll be some negative bits as well, of course. But the Priscilla film, which I heard Barry Siegel is the person who brokered the deal to Sofia Coppola to base this book as the basis of the Priscilla film. Barry Siegel, who was really Lisa Marie's enemy. Obviously, Barry Siegel ripped Lisa Marie off for the tune of $100 million, yeah? So Barry Siegel still being friends with Priscilla is an absolute joke. I've been told by Bridget Cruz that Barry Siegel, you know, Bridget Cruz, who is in a lawsuit with Priscilla as we speak, that Barry Siegel brokered the deal to make the Priscilla film and use this book. So Barry Siegel is friends with Priscilla, which I again think that's an absolute disgrace. Yeah. So honestly, guys, Priscilla should be massively ashamed of herself, massively. And I could speak about Priscilla all day long, just how upset she has made me on different things to do with Elvis. But I do not hate. I will never be a hate channel. Never, never, never. It's not what we do. Now, you guys can hate. If you guys want to hate Priscilla, that's fine. It's fine. I'm not against people hating her. I'm just not going to join the queue of hate. This is not how I work. I come from a good place. I'm a Christian man. I come from a good place. Yeah. So you won't see me hating. Right. Let's keep going. And with his famous jumpsuits, Mystic, I'd never watch her crap film. Yeah, it is a crap film. Linda, it is a crap film. There's another guy called him. Yeah, but come on, all these different people that think they're Elvis Presley. Come on, do we laugh at that? Do we find that just funny and ridiculous? I don't think it does any harm to Elvis. It's just laughable. It's just so hard to believe it. This is a guy who says that he is always Elvis's son and has DNA to prove it. Actually, there are two that I just seen. Yeah, Elizabeth, I don't believe any of them. I don't believe any of them. I just laugh at it. I think it's ridiculous. It's like a cartoon, isn't it? It's laughable. Yeah. Trudy, I know the movie will make upset me. So, Trudy, it's terrible. You're not missing nothing. If you want to get a taste for it, just watch the trailers on YouTube. That's all you need to do. The only thing I liked was all the sets. So you got the sets where they meet in the cafe in the 50s. You've got the Graceland set. That was pretty good. You know, the way everyone's dressed, stuff like that. Pretty good. And I do like the old rock and roll music in the background. But the storyline was pathetic. The acting was a joke. The film was laughable. That's how I feel about it. My favorite film is the Kurt Russell film. The Kurt Russell film will always be my favorite, always. I've watched all of them and all the TV melodramas and all the TV series. I like Kurt Russell's version of it. Hi, Linda. Let's have a look. Okay, let me just go back to it. It keeps jumping up. I'm really sorry, guys. I don't think Elvis is the type of person I like to have illegitimate children lying around. These people just want attention and Elvis's inheritance. I agree with the majority of these people just want attention. I definitely agree with that. But is it possible that Elvis has another child? Can we really truthfully rule it out 100%? It's possible, guys. Yeah. There are others also who are claiming they are sons and daughters. There is quite a few to me. So again, it's another story claiming that she is the daughter. It hurts to hear all these stories. Now, remember, Elizabeth, I don't believe any of them. Yeah, I don't believe any of the stories, but I don't feel hurt by it. Why would you say it hurts? That's the bit I don't understand. I don't feel hurt by these stories. I laugh at them. I think they're silly. I think all these different things, all these different YouTube people that I'm the kid of Elvis, I just laugh at it. I find it ridiculous. Yeah, definitely I don't feel hurt by it because it's just bullshit, isn't it? I take it for what it is, bullshit. That's it. Hi, Debbie. Well, the one story that everyone tells the same way is that Elvis was always careful when it came to getting anyone pregnant. Yeah, Linda, I've heard that. Yeah, I believe that as well. Linda, Elvis was careful. Scylla, the mother of his only child, should have only not spread lies in interviews over the years. She lies and left right, and Lisa was at Graceland's when Elvis passed, as one example. Right, hi, Mando. Let me just read that again. Scylla, the mother of his only child, that was and should have not spread lies in interviews. Definitely she shouldn't have. Priscilla has done some serious damage. Come on, we know it, guys. Serious damage over the years. She lies left and right, and Lisa, yeah, I see what you mean. She's always lying, yeah. I agree, she is. Lisa was at Graceland when Elvis passed. Yes, and I've seen that. Yeah. It's true. Austin Butler, Baz Luhrmann. I love Austin Butler and I love Baz Luhrmann. But there are things in that film that I didn't like. Not everything in the Baz Luhrmann film is good. Not everything in the Baz Luhrmann film portrays Elvis correctly. So I don't like a few things in that film, but I also see how it relaunched him to a complete new generation of people. I also see that Lisa Marie loved that film, so that I have to respect that. If he was having sex with Priscilla when she was 18 and got pregnant when she was 21, it shows her he was careful. Yeah, I see that. I'm not saying he wasn't careful. I'm not saying he wasn't careful. I'm saying that a man that had that amount of girlfriends from age 18, yeah, to age 42, you can't rule out the chance that he may have had a child. You can't. No one can. That doesn't mean I'm saying he was promiscuous. He probably was very careful, but it could happen. Louis, you want me to blind? I don't get that. Ayisa, what do you mean? Let's have a look. Ayisa, I don't understand that comment. Let's have a look. Where are we? Sorry, the comments keep flying up and down. Yeah, the Kurt Russell film is brilliant. I'll probably watch it today. I love that film. Yeah, I understand. Gio, I see that. Dress up like go around saying you're his son. Money, it's true. Everyone wants money. Everyone's coming out with these stories for money. I agree. And there is a chance. I'll say it now. This book could have been written just for money. It could have. I won't rule it out. When this book was released, suddenly Lucy and Desiree became famous. Yeah, they were celebrities for a while. So yeah, it could be for money. It could be. We don't know, do we? We could, we just don't know. I loved Austin Butler as Elvis, but the film isn't perfect. I really, really like Austin Butler. I'm a big fan of Austin Butler. I'd love him to make another movie with Elvis.
Being Elvis and the kind of man he was, I just think he was made out to be some Lothario, spreading his seed everywhere. He would have been very, very careful. He wouldn't have damaged his image. I do think Elvis was careful. I do. I do think I agree with you about this image where his reputation has been chewed up by, especially by non-Elvis fans, that he was just a shagabout, shagged everything, slept with every woman he came into contact with, and was obsessed with having sex. I know that is a ridiculous image of Elvis that us Elvis fans know is not true. But non-Elvis fans, they see that. Non-Elvis fans think that Elvis slept with everything that moved. Yeah. And the press generally go along with that image, don't they? The press generally say he was a shagabout that took drugs, that was overweight, died on the toilet. Yeah, we know about this crappy negative image that is constantly put out about Elvis, which is why we do a lot of defending Elvis here, which is why we're called Defending Elvis, because we will disagree with a lot of the things that are said. We know that Elvis, actually, a lot of the women he was with, he didn't want to sleep with them. He wanted companionship, friendship. He would read with them. He, especially when he went through his spiritual stage, he wanted to share what he was learning in life. Yeah, we know that Elvis probably many of the women that he was friends with did not have sex with them. I agree with that. So this image that he's a shagabout is wrong. I agree, it's wrong. So Blinky, yes, I agree with that comment. Yeah, I've seen that. Geo. Geo, I've seen it. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Oh my God. Yeah, the Swedish woman claiming to be Lisa Marie. I know. Come on. That is like one of the funniest ones I've read. Yeah, Linda, you've seen it. I hope Elvis is in heaven to comfort Priscilla about all the lies that she has spread. I get your comment, Karen. Yeah. Now, you know, we got to remember that with Elvis's image, I find a lot of the negative Elvis stuff is non-Elvis fans. Yeah, non-Elvis fans. So there is a general public have the wrong idea of Elvis. Yeah, which is we always bring it up here again and again and again. They just see him wrong. They don't understand Elvis properly. They don't understand the human being, how good he was, how kind, generous, charming, and loving, and caring. And he put himself last. He tried to help everyone. He was so good for charity as well. And the public don't see the real Elvis, the Christian man, the gospel singing, beautiful heart of gold man that he was. They just see the shortened version, and it's not true. I'm on about non-Elvis fans. They just see the bullshit, which is a shame. Which is why we are constantly posting videos saying, no, Elvis did this, Elvis did that. Did you know this? Did you know that? We're digging to expose how great Elvis was. It's a never-ending project, isn't it? We'll be doing this. Will still be going on in 100 years. Yeah. Let's just keep going, guys. Why don't they get their own job instead of chasing in on Elvis? It's sickening. There's a lot of books, isn't there? I watched a documentary and I'm going to post it. I watched I think it was a 35-year-old documentary, and I've recorded it. It's in 2 parts. And that talks a lot about all the lies that have been said about Elvis for the last for about 20 years after he died. It's very interesting. It's a vintage documentary, and I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it on my video channel. Where are we? Yeah, Linda. Yes, I do think Baz Luhrmann, to keep Priscilla happy, I do think she did have a say in that film. Honestly, I know many will say she didn't. I think she did. I think Priscilla was involved in that film, just like the Netflix documentary, which was a brilliant documentary. It relaunched Elvis to the public on Netflix. You know, Netflix, massive, yeah. But I do think Priscilla had involvement in that. I do. I think she shouldn't even be on it. Come on, let's face it, guys. Priscilla shouldn't be in that Netflix 68 comeback documentary. She wasn't his widow. They had been divorced for 4 years before he died. So why is she up there talking on behalf of Elvis? She did some serious harm and damage to Elvis, to his image, reputation, and his legacy. She's completely ripped off Elvis and Lisa Marie and Riley. In my opinion, financially, she has ripped them all off. Priscilla's done some serious bad stuff. So why is she sat up there on Netflix 47 years after Elvis died, talking about Elvis as if Elvis and her were still married when he died, as if Elvis and her were still in love when he died, when we know that she was seriously unfaithful to Elvis many times, right up until 1973, and then they divorced. Yeah, it was all over her. Really, it went on. I think she was still being unfaithful at the end of 1970 and all through 1971. So what has Priscilla been doing, sat up there talking on behalf of Elvis, that she treated disgracefully and then ripped him off for decades? So 100% Priscilla should not be on that documentary, the Netflix documentary. It's ridiculous. And you'd think that a massive company like Netflix would do their homework, do their research, and understand that Priscilla is not welcome in the Elvis world, in my opinion. But we go back to the Baz Luhrmann film. And even the Priscilla film with Sofia Coppola, they feel they need Priscilla to make the documentary a success. Oh, we need Priscilla. We need Jerry Schilling. Otherwise, people won't watch it. They're wrong. They're wrong. That Netflix documentary, if it was done without Priscilla and Jerry Schilling, because I think he's in the club anyway, I am not fully supportive. How can I? No, let me reword it. I understand Jerry Schilling is popular, but I also think he's too close with Priscilla, and I think that is a problem. I think Jerry being too close to Priscilla is a problem. I know that he loved Elvis. I understand that. I won't take away the fact that he loved Elvis, but I also think financially and maybe personally that Jerry and Priscilla, they're not as squeaky clean as Jerry isn't as squeaky clean as everyone thinks. I know he was the handsome one, but I think he made mistakes. He knew what side his bread was buttered. Get it, guys? So, yeah, there's no way Priscilla should have been in that documentary. Let's have a look. Anne Margaret is the few that didn't cash in on Elvis's fame. Sorry if I'm obsessed with Elvis. No, we love Anne Margaret. We love Anne Margaret, and you're right. She didn't. She's amazing. I can only praise Anne Margaret. You have to see them here in Australia every year. There was an EP festival. Wow, I'd love to go to that. I get it. We know how BP is. Aisa, I don't understand that. Is it how bad Priscilla is? Yeah, is that what you mean? The Baz film had too much of Priscilla's lies in it. Yeah, not loads, but Linda, it had some, didn't it? Yeah.
Elizabeth, the Baz movie made out that Priscilla was the only woman in Elvis's life. You could see Priscilla was behind the movie. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, Karen. And that's a shame, isn't it? Because that Austin Butler was brilliant. They should make a movie about how charitable he was and kind-hearted. Well, I think at least let's show the real Elvis. This is what I want to see in a movie. I want to see the real Elvis. Yeah. The true Elvis that we all love here, that we all love. And I don't think we get that in these movies, even in Baz Luhrmann's film. I don't think we get that. I think the Kurt Russell film does sort of show a bit of, especially when they do the childhood and then when he first becomes famous, you get that feeling of Elvis. Yeah. Obviously, then it goes a little bit pear-shaped, but I wouldn't wear a jumpsuit, Gia. I'll tell you what I would wear, the 68 comeback stuff. I would wear that. You know, the leather jacket, the leather trousers. I'd wear that, my friend. I wouldn't wear a jumpsuit. Yeah, Mystic Werewolf, you're right. Anne Margaret is never mentioned. And this is all part of the Priscilla con, that she talks about Elvis when there's ever a documentary or a biography or a movie or a TV melodrama. It is done in a way that there was no other girlfriends, that it was just Priscilla. Priscilla has no time for anything that she does to mention any of Elvis's other girlfriends. Even we've just seen it on the Netflix documentary. She likes to act like there were never any other girlfriends. And I think even redecorating Gracelands to the time when they were together, yeah, she tries to erase Elvis's life after her, which is a con, and the public have fallen for it as well, which is a shame. So this is why really these kind of books, at least they give us some kind of information about the life that Elvis lived after Priscilla. Yeah. So, even books like this, it's all there's, and actually even in books like this, there's you're finding out snippets of information of Elvis's life after Priscilla. Yeah. Where are we? But we are going to do an Anne Margaret live stream one day. The reputation of Elvis sleeping with everyone, in my opinion, is exaggerated. Definitely. I agree. He slept with a lot less people than people think. A lot less. I think he had companions, but he didn't want to have sex with them all. Honestly, I don't think he did. I haven't seen the newest movie, but I have heard both positive and negative about it. And the scenes that I have seen have me doubting some of it. Do you know what? I watched all the clips and I thought it looked okay. This is before it was released, yeah? I even did a few old reviews saying, oh, it looks good, yeah? But when I actually watched it, I was like, this is bad. This is bad. So you can't judge it from the clips. The little clips, you don't see just how bad the film is. It's only when you watch the film, when you go, oh my God, it really does do some harm. But it was a flop. How many people watched it? A handful? Yeah, he definitely looked the best in his 68 comeback special. I also liked him in the Vegas comeback in 1969. He was so slim and elegant when he did those first couple of shows in Vegas. He looked amazing. Yeah, so Elizabeth says, I agree that we never see the true Elvis in the movies. His family has said that to you. No, we don't. I don't even like the way they portray Gladys and Vernon. I don't like it. I think they make Vernon out to be this horrible, bad-tempered, stingy person. And I think Gladys, they just make her out like she's depressed, taking pills and getting drunk. I don't like it. Don't like it. She was lovely. Gladys was lovely. And they need to show that more. Did you know that a 10-year-old Kurt Russell acted in? Yeah, I love it. I love it. We've watched it again and again, that clip. Thanks, Joy. And he ends up playing Elvis. Amazing. I love Kurt Russell. I'm a big fan of Kurt Russell. My kids watch, is it Christmas Chronicles? And I keep saying to my kids, you know, that he played Elvis. He played Elvis. And then he does the rock and roll scene in the jail. Have any of you seen that, Christmas Chronicles? And then I think it's a bit of a nod to Elvis, where he plays, he sings "It's Christmas Time," Pretty Baby, doesn't he, in the jail cell? And I love it. Kurt Russell is amazing. I love him. Graceland should never have been changed. Priscilla has put it back to the time when she was there. She even says, when I come back, everything's the same. I know. I agree. Karen, I agree. It should have been left how it was when Elvis died. It should have been left how when Elvis died. All this trying to erase history is just bullshit. But the public have fallen for it. The public have fallen for it. All this rubbing out Elvis's life. I don't like it. Don't like it. He had more life after Prissy than with her. So why the hell does she have all the say on things? You're right, Sue. I agree. The power that Priscilla managed to achieve, you know, especially after Vernon died, is unbelievable. She literally rose to the top. Yeah, she was the emperor of everything Elvis. It's disgusting. It's disgusting that happened. I actually think that Elvis would turn in his grave. If Elvis knew that one day Priscilla was going to be the boss of everything for 30 to 40 years, he would have turned in his grave. Should never have happened. It is an injustice. It is a massive injustice that that kind of wealth and power was given to Priscilla. It's very, very, very sad. And she's still doing damage now. Priscilla, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes, is still doing damage even now. Even now. It's a damn shame. And I just can't believe it even happened. Can't believe it. Never an apology. Priscilla, never an apology for her behavior. Never. Never an admission of wrongdoing. Ever. No admission of wrongdoing ever. Everything was Elvis's fault. So sad. So sad. And this is why we're called Defending Elvis Presley. Right, let me just go back. Okay, so he had, right, so Linda says, the most important thing I find in reading the book is the contradictions, tells us many lies or exaggerations. Yeah, and I'm, you know, Linda's been brilliant. She sent me some books, and I agree. As we read these books, we are finding the contradictions and we're defending, you know, so I can totally agree with that comment. A lot of things are twisted in all of the books. So Debbie says, if only they would do a decent film from childhood all the way to the end. Yes, like the Kurt Russell film. It just nicely portraying how lovely that man was till the day he died. No, I don't. I don't have the Gladys and Elvis book. The one I bought recently is the Ginger Alden book, which will probably come tomorrow. But I do want to do a Ginger Alden live stream a bit later as a sort of a prequel to, because when I get the Ginger Alden book tomorrow, hopefully, I'm going to read a chapter of it and introduce it. So I do want to do one Ginger Alden thing today and then ready for the book that comes tomorrow when we read a chapter of it. I think it's too important because she was with him for the last 9 months before he died. I do think it's important that we read that book. I really do. Yeah, do you know what? The 3,000 Miles to Graceland, I have watched it, but it was years ago. It was years ago. I know that Kurt Russell was in it. I'll see if I can find it. I'd like to watch that again, refresh myself on it. It was a long time ago when I watched that. Yeah, the Kurt Russell film. I bought the book in Tupelo. Right, okay. Bit by bit, we'll get these books. We'll just, I mean, I'm not rushing because we've got so many to go through that the Ginger Alden book, I just really wanted it. I was watching Ginger Alden's interviews last night and I thought I must get that book. I must get it. Which I did. I ordered it at like 5 in the morning. Let's just have a look. So it's never too late to defend Elvis. I love you. So grateful for joining us all together. Very great. Oh, come on, guys. We love it. We love it. Billy Stanley gave me his book. Wow. Pat Jeans. Are you new to defending Elvis? Introduce yourself. Hi, Pat. That's amazing. So you actually met Billy Stanley. There's very strong opinions about Billy. Is it a good book? Pat, is it a good book? And welcome. We always welcome new people. Right, let me just go back through the messages. Right, I know I'm a bit behind everyone, but I'm slowly going through them. It was a scorcher here in Australia. Joy. I fell in love with Australia watching Neighbours in the early 1980s with Kylie Minogue and Jason Donovan. That's why I like Australia. Is Neighbours still going? Are they still making it? Just having a bit of fun. Vernon didn't follow his son's wishes and let the gold diggers back in. I know that there's very strong opinions of Vernon. I know that. I love his Vegas days, but I also love, to me, I love the rock and roll Elvis. That's the person I fell in love with. 1956, boom. But I also love the 68 comeback, the Vegas comeback as well. Actually, when I'm reading about Elvis, that I really enjoy reading this book because it talks a lot about the late 50s, early 60s. So I find the late 50s and the early 60s quite fascinating. It's a great book as well, guys. Let's not forget her, even trying to get Grayson away from Riley. She continues to try and cut out her granddaughter. Oh, she's a nightmare. Blinky, she's an absolute nightmare. You know, I'm very peed off with how she's treated Lisa and Riley and taken money out of the pocket of her own grandkids. It drives me mad. Who does that? Who takes money off their grandkids? And the fact that she contested the Lisa's wishes when she died is disgusting. Disgusting. I know we keep demanding an apology from Priscilla, and I agree, it's unlikely. It's unlikely, but I'll always ask for it. I'm always going to push for an apology, an admission of wrongdoing from Priscilla. I will push. Even Mike Stone, I want Mike Stone to apologize. I will always push for an apology from Priscilla and Mike Stone. Always. They're both seriously out of order. Both of them should be ashamed of themselves. I'm disgusted at both of their behavior. Sorry, guys, but that's how I feel. Wow, we have two. QT was the best. KUT. QT. What is that? QT.
No doubt Karen, because of Priscilla, had good intentions. Lisa Marie would have gotten everything without Priscilla taking. Yeah, I think there was a cunning plan with Barry Siegel and Priscilla to own everything. To own everything. Seriously, I really believe that. I think they were trying to take it away from Lisa. Honestly, guys, just my opinion. I made a mistake. I thought Shauna was on last night because I thought it was Friday, but she does lives on Friday night, so it's tonight. Yeah, I love Shauna. Shauna's great. She's been on this show many times. She's even sung for us. Yes, Joe, that's why I think Priscilla convinced Vernon she would be better in charge. Even that is a whole live stream in itself, because we know that Elvis did not want Priscilla to inherit anything. Elvis went out of his way when he wrote the will to keep Priscilla out of it. So the way it all turned out is a joke. The way that she maneuvered herself into a position of being the co-executor, the trustee on behalf of Lisa. Disgusting. Disgusting. All of it. Absolute joke. Can't believe it actually happened. So we're reading some interesting stuff about Pat. So let's have a look. I'm catching up with these comments now, guys. Joe's, well, I think Priscilla convinced Vernon that she would be better in charge. Yeah, I do as well. I was getting tired, but don't forget, he was weak and very unwell. He had serious heart problems. So you have been here before, Pat. That's good. He's full of crap. Yeah. You love the Aussie heat. Do you really? Did you really meet Elvis? So Pat met Elvis. When did Pat meet Elvis? And she met Vernon at the bank. Wow. How did you meet them, Pat? How did you meet them? Yes, Now Neighbours was so good. Loved that show. Do they still make it? I love Elvis on every year. Come on, we all love everything about Elvis. We can't help it. Yesterday, when we were watching all the movies, I loved it. Loved it. Even when we came off the live stream, I carried on watching them on TV at home. Michelle, that seems to be the favorite word at the moment, doesn't it? Narcissist. She sure was. She sure was and is. Elizabeth, I bought the Elvis and Gladys book in Tupelo. Right, okay. Yeah, Kurt was amazing. We love Kurt. They will not say sorry. If you don't have a good heart to start with, you will not. Do you know what? It's funny. My answer to that comment, Debbie, is come on, people have regrets, don't they? People do make mistakes as teenagers. You know, it could be how they behave at school. And as they, get into their 20s and 30s, they make mistakes. And then when you get older, you say sorry. You look back on your life with regrets and you apologize to the people that you were cruel to, and I'd love that for Priscilla to just be able to look back on her life and go, do you know what? I made lots of mistakes. I'm sorry. It's never going to happen. It doesn't seem like it's ever going to happen. I've watched so much Mike Stone stuff, guys. I'm really, really upset with Mike Stone. He should be ashamed of himself. Seriously, the damage that was caused when they dragged Lisa Marie away from her father was disgusting. The pair of them, Priscilla and Mike Stone, disgusting. And the funny thing is that once the relationship was over between Priscilla and Mike Stone, she didn't speak about him for nearly 50 years. It was all for nothing, guys. It was all for nothing. Actually, no, it wasn't all for nothing, because it was all for Priscilla. She used him like a rock.
Then she milked Elvis's name and the fact that she was his ex for 50 years. Disgusting. And the person that was damaged the most was Lisa Marie. I repeat, the person Priscilla damaged the most when she ran off and met and lived with Mike Stone was Lisa Marie. And Elvis. Of course, and Elvis. But Lisa Marie the most. Disgusting. Disgusting. Mike Stone is a joke. I agree. He should be ashamed of himself. He owes the world massive apologies. Oh, Pat, yeah, we'd love to have met Elvis. We saw them all the time, locals left alone. You're very lucky, Pat. It is amazing, Karen. Thank you so much for joining us. Elizabeth, that's true, Lou. When you get older, you realize a lot of stuff you did when you were young and you should not have done, and you regret it. Yeah, of course we do. We all do. Come on. We all made mistakes. Come on. I'm a good guy. I've got a good heart. I made mistakes. I made mistakes. Come on. You look back on your life and you go, that shouldn't have happened. Yeah. I wasn't mature. I wasn't ready. I wasn't, you know, I see it in my kids. You know, they're going through the different ages, and I'm sure that as you get older, you see your life differently, looking back. Yeah. Yeah, Misha, I think you could be right. Misha, I'm with you. Sorry, Blinky. Binky, sorry. She does have a heart of stone. I agree. She has a heart of stone. What's that film I used to watch? I'm trying to remember the film. Is it like Sinbad the Sailor or something? Oh, what was the one? Oh, I can't remember it. There's a film where in the end the statue smashes apart because she's got a heart of stone. Can't remember what it's called. Yeah, a lot of us were wild childs, weren't we? But then as we got older, we calmed. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I do agree that Blinky, I was just saying that I especially do look back on my younger life, wondering why I did what I did sometimes, but I really do agree with you about Priscilla. Yeah. Come on, we're all humans, including Elvis. Now, I do agree with Blinky that Priscilla is a cold cucumber. A cold cucumber. Joe Esposito is one of his interviews. Priscilla was a cold woman. There we are. See? There you go, Joy. That's an old film, Louis. I know what film you mean. Yeah, I forget what it's called. Oh, it might come to me. I doubt it, though. A cold fish. That's it. Okay, guys. Unfortunately, we didn't do the Ginger Oldham bit, but we are going to. At some point, I've got to go to work soon. When I come back, Cecilia went to Catholic school there in Memphis. So, guys, if you want to quickly ask Pat some questions, because she was there. She was on the ground in there with everyone. I'm sure Pat would love you guys to ask her some questions. Do you mind, Pat? So obviously I didn't do the Ginger Oldham bit, which was my intention, but we've had a brilliant chat. It could be Sinbad, couldn't it, Ayisa? Yeah, look, Pat's up for questions. Pat, in real life, was Elvis even better looking than on the movies? That's my question. Thanks, Pat. You are the loyal guys. You guys here on this chat are the loyal guys that have had my back, and I really appreciate it. unfortunately, some people have been a massive disappointment, but that's life, guys. He carried himself well, yes. Pat, you're a man. Sorry, Pat. Right, let's do it another way. It's still the same question. Was he still fantastic was he more fantastic to see in real life than on the movies? Oh, did he? I love that. I love that. I can imagine him doing that, Pat. I'm good. Well, I've got to go to work. I'm meeting someone at so let me just, what's the time? But I'm not going for, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be back. Do you know what? There's a chart. Oh, I don't know. What I might try and do is quickly do the Ginger Alden live and then go to work. So I'll end this chat and then I'll try and come back and do the Ginger Alden. We'll see. I'm not sure at the moment. It's all to do with let's just see. I may come straight back. It's all to do with I've got to make a phone call because I don't have to leave for work yet. So I think what I'm going to do, I'll end this live and then I'll try and come straight back. That's what I'm going to try and do the Ginger Alden stuff. Yeah. So I'll say goodbye. I may be back like literally in 10 minutes. So let's just give it, because I didn't realize it was this early. It's still very early. I don't have to leave for another 2 hours. So I might come straight back. Okay, guys, take care. I'll tell you what, we've had such a nice discussion. Loved it. Really, 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 really loved it. I might be back in 10 minutes. Might be back. See you in a bit, guys. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate to the new people. Thank you, Pat, for joining us. All of you, Team Elvis, taking care of business. Thank you, guys. I may be back in 10 minutes.